She trusted him once. The mafia boss never let anyone touch her again. The first thing Amelia Grant noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind that wrapped around you on a quiet London morning, but the sharp, alert silence that made your shoulders tense without knowing why. The kind that pressed against your ears until you became aware of every breath you took. She stood behind the polished oak counter of La Bruma, a private bar tucked behind an unmarked door in downtown Barcelona. It was meant to be discreet, elegant, and safe. Safe enough that people with secrets liked to drink there. Tonight, it felt like a mistake. Amelia was 28, British by birth, careful by nature. She had learned to read rooms early in life, first as a diplomat's daughter, later as a woman who survived by noticing details others ignored. The way a man's jaw tightened when he lied, the way danger often arrived quietly. The door had opened 10 minutes earlier. No music stopped, no glasses shattered, no voices rose, but the room had changed. He had walked in without announcing himself, tall and composed, dressed in a charcoal suit that fit like it was stitched to his body. He didn't scan the room like a predator. He didn't need to. Others did it for him. Men straightened, conversations dropped. Even the bartender beside Amelia lowered his voice, as if instinctively aware that something ancient and powerful had entered the space. The man sat alone at the far end of the bar. Amelia did not know his name yet. She only knew the way everyone else suddenly seemed smaller. "Don't stare," the bartender murmured under his breath. "I wasn't," Amelia replied, though they both knew she had been. The man didn't look dangerous in the way films taught people to expect. No scars on his face, no cruelty in his expression, just calm, measured, watchful. That was what unsettled her. She poured whiskey into a crystal tumbler, her movements steady. As she carried the glass down the counter, a flicker of unease moved through her chest. Something in her mind whispered, not fear exactly, but warning. When she reached him, he finally looked up. His eyes were dark, steady, and unsettlingly focused, like he'd been aware of her long before she approached. "Your usual?" she asked automatically, though she had never seen him before. A corner of his mouth lifted barely. "I don't have a usual." His voice was low, smooth, touched with a Mexican accent that felt deliberate rather than softened. She placed the drink in front of him. "Then consider this an introduction." His gaze dropped briefly to the glass, then lingered. Something shifted. Amelia's pulse quickened as she noticed what he noticed. The faint shimmer in the liquid, the smallest distortion in the whiskey's surface, something she had missed. Her stomach dropped. Poison. Not enough to kill quickly, enough to weaken, to make someone pliable. Her breath caught, but she didn't move. The man looked up at her again, and this time his eyes sharpened. He knew. He hadn't touched the glass. Around them, laughter resumed. A woman at the other end of the bar threw her head back, unaware that a line had just been crossed. Amelia leaned forward, lowering her voice. "Don't drink it," she said softly. "Smile. Finish your conversation. Leave now." The words were calm, controlled. Her heart was not. For a moment, nothing happened. Then his hand shot out, not to the glass, but to her wrist. Firm, controlled, not painful, unyielding. Her breath hitched as his thumb brushed her pulse. "You should be careful," he said quietly, leaning closer. "Who you warn." Up close, he smelled of cedar and something darker. His presence felt like gravity, pulling, inevitable. "I'm being careful," Amelia replied, forcing steadiness into her voice. "That's why I warned you." A beat passed. Then he smiled, not warmly, not cruelly, as if he'd just identified a variable he hadn't accounted for. "Who told you?" he asked. "No one," she said. "I saw it." His grip tightened slightly, not enough to hurt, enough to remind her he could. Around them, the world continued, oblivious. Then, slowly, he released her wrist. He stood, towering over her now, his presence drawing attention without demanding it. He placed a generous stack of bills on the bar, untouched glass left behind. As he passed her, he murmured, "You've just involved yourself in something you don't understand." The door closed behind him, and just like that, the silence lifted. Amelia stood frozen, her skin still warm where he'd held her. "What was that?" the bartender whispered. She shook her head. Nothing, but her hands were trembling. The message arrived 2 hours later. Unknown number. "You saved my life. That creates a debt." She stared at the screen, unease blooming in her chest. "I don't want one," she typed. The reply came almost instantly. That was not a request. The following days unfolded with an uncomfortable sense of inevitability. Amelia noticed men she had never seen before stationed across the street from her flat. The same black car parked outside her workplace at different hours. Doors opening too easily, problems resolving themselves before she even voiced them. Her landlord called to say her lease had been reconsidered. Her bank flagged unusual activity, then apologized and reversed it without explanation. She had not asked for help. Someone decided she needed it. 3 nights later, the black car waited when she finished her shift. Her instincts screamed for her to run. She didn't. The rear door opened. "Get in, Amelia Grant." The man who spoke wasn't the one from the bar, but the name confirmed what she already knew. She slid into the leather seat, spine straight, pulse racing. The car moved. They didn't blindfold her, didn't threaten her. That terrified her more. They arrived at a hilltop estate overlooking the city, all stone and glass and security disguised as elegance. Inside, he waited, the man from the bar. Now she knew his name, Mateo Cruz. Late 30s, Mexican, head of one of the most powerful criminal networks spanning Europe and the Americas, a man whose name was spoken carefully, if at all. He stood near a window, hands clasped behind his back. "You should have run," he said without turning. "I considered it, then I realized you wouldn't have allowed it." He turned slowly, a faint smile. "Correct." She met his gaze, refusing to look away. "Why am I here?" "Because someone tried to kill me," Mateo said calmly, "and you chose to intervene. I chose not to watch someone die. That distinction," Mateo said, stepping closer, "is why you're still breathing." The air between them felt charged, dangerous. "You don't belong in my world," he continued, "but now my world knows you exist." Amelia folded her arms. "Then erase me." Mateo studied her as if she were a puzzle. "If I could, I would." "Why can't you?" His eyes darkened. "Because the person who poisoned my drink is still alive, and now they know someone warned me." Her stomach tightened. "You're bait," Mateo said quietly. She laughed, sharp and disbelieving. "You brought me here to say that?" "No," Mateo replied. "I brought you here to keep you alive." Silence stretched between them. "I don't trust you," Amelia said. "That's wise. I won't be owned." His gaze hardened. "No one owns you." A pause. Then, "Anyone who touches you now," Mateo added, his voice dropping, "answers to me." Her breath caught. That wasn't protection. That was possession. The days that followed blurred into a half-life. Amelia wasn't locked away, but she wasn't free. Mateo insisted on security, on distance, on rules. No phones without encryption, no leaving without notice, no questions about his business. Yet in quiet moments she saw cracks in the armor. The way he never raised his voice, the way his men deferred not out of fear alone, but respect. The way he watched her, not hungrily, but intently, as if guarding something fragile and dangerous at all once. She learned that Mateo Cruz did not forgive betrayal. She also learned that once, years ago, he had trusted a woman who nearly destroyed him. No one touched her again after that. Until Amelia. The night when everything shifted, rain lashed against the estate windows. Mateo returned late, blood on his cuff, not his. He stood in the doorway as Amelia rose from the sofa. "Was it them?" she asked. "Yes." "Are we safe?" "For tonight." She exhaled, then stiffened as he stepped closer. "Why me?" she asked softly. "Out of everyone in that bar, why did you choose me?" Mateo hesitated. That alone terrified her. "Because," he said, finally, "you remind me of who I was before I became this." Her chest tightened. Thunder cracked outside.
For a moment, the distance between them felt razor thin. Then a phone buzzed on the table. Mateo checked the message. All warmth vanished from his expression. "They found you," he said. "Who?" "The people who killed my brother." Amelia's blood ran cold. Mateo looked at her, not as a shield, not as a possession, but as a liability, and possibly a weapon. "Pack your things," he said quietly. "From this moment on, trusting me may be the most dangerous thing you ever do." The lights flickered. Outside, engines roared to life, and somewhere beyond the walls, someone was watching.